What's going on, everybody? B Sky here with
G.O.D.
And on today's show, we're going to go over the AFC South. You got the Indianapolis Colts. They added Phillip Rivers, DeForest Buckner. We'll see if they can take care of the division, but they still got to worry about the Houston Texans. Big trade in the offseason with DeAndre Hopkins, David Johnson. And then Tennessee Titans locking up Tannehill for the long term. You know, this division's up for the grabs. But Jacksonville didn't get better at all. They're going to suck. So, at the end of the day, first four downs, we'll be going over the AFC South. So keep it locked and loaded right here.
Yeah. Drop the logo.
What's going on, everybody? And welcome back to the first four downs. And on today's show, like I said in the preview, we're going over the AFC South. And this is a division that really is going to be pretty close with the top contenders in this division, but the bottom one is probably going to be the number one pick next year. So we can start right with that. It's the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Yeah.
And personally, I could see them not winning a football game. You know, they have a pretty tough schedule. It's not crazy hard, but they only have 6 games against teams sub 500 last season. 2 of them the Colts. So, and they should definitely be better. You got a game against the Browns. They should be better. And the Chargers. You know, they have a top 5 defense, arguably. So, the only winnable games is possibly the Miami Dolphins, Cincinnati Bengals. And maybe, for some reason, they squeak out a divisional win. That's 3 wins, at best. And they did nothing to address anything in the offseason outside of trading all the players away. So that tells you they're ready to rebuild. No Bouye. They got rid of Ramsey a long time ago. They trade Campbell, then they trade Nick Foles after a half a season. So I got them winning possibly 2 games, maybe 3 at best, but they could definitely lose all their games. What do you think?
Oh, it's crazy because Vegas got them winning 4.5 games. And I'll tell you what, this offseason has been crazy for the Jacksonville Jaguars. They did absolutely nothing to improve that team.
Right?
It's like they were terrible last year, and they're going to be terrible this year. I'm telling you, this GM that they got, and Doug Marrone, this is probably their last tenure there. This is probably their last year there, period. You know what I'm saying? The team didn't get better. You think about even the best player that they have right now, arguably, is Leonard Fournette. They've already declined his 5th-year option. So how motivated is he going to even be to play?
Yep.
You know what I mean? As you think about teams that's on a rebuild, you think about Ngakoue in the middle. They put the tag on him, and they got Fournette. They should probably just trade them right now, and they'll have the most money after they already got rid of the Nick Foles contract. Only 1 year in. They look to be the front runners in free agency next year and land some players. So, yeah, this team is going to be terrible, man. You look at the schedule they got, and honestly, outside of the division, it's not that bad.
Yeah.
But who are they going to really realistically beat?
Yeah.
Nobody. I'm giving them a couple home games. You got a 2-14. I got them 2-14. And, yeah, sorry, Jacksonville. It's going to hurt.
Yeah, it's going to be tough. I mean, especially the decline of Fournette's option. They tried to shop him. It didn't work out, obviously. So that tells you they're in a complete rebuild. Ngakoue doesn't even want to play if he even shows up at all. So
I mean, they got a promising thing in Gardner Minshew and DJ Chark. You know, in fantasy world, that's gonna be dope because you know what? They're gonna have to air it out.
Absolutely.
So, I mean, that's there, right? But nothing else is there.
No.
So
they could be in the Trevor Lawrence sweepstakes for the number 1 pick next season. You know what I mean? You never know. So we can move on from Jacksonville, obviously, because they're hands down the worst football team in the league.
Yeah.
And we'll go to a surprise team that surprised a lot of people last year. That's the Tennessee Titans. You know, they got really hot when it mattered. Derrick Henry, man, that guy's a beast. When you give him, when you give him the carries, he takes care of business, plain and simple. So, you look at the team; they didn't do a crazy amount in free agency. They didn't get a lot better, in my opinion, on offense or defense. They lost Conklin on that offensive line.
Yeah,
that definitely hurts them a little bit, you know. But they did sign Tannehill to the long haul. Tannehill was nothing short of outstanding. 13 games last season, especially in fantasy, number 2 quarterback over the last 13 weeks. And took care of business when he needed to. A.J. Brown going into a sophomore season should see even better production. He was great last year as a rookie. Derrick Henry, they tagged him. They want to see another year with him. So we'll have to wait and see with that.
Yeah,
but
they can't pay him the money. He don't even catch passes.
Absolutely. So we'll have to see with that. But I got the Titans winning 9 games. You know, I think they should easily be above that 500 trend. They have a sound football team. They're still missing a little pieces here and there. But
Not necessarily just Super Bowl caliber, right?
Yes.
In your group?
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
You're right. They did lose Conklin. They used their first round draft pick on Isaiah Wilson to soak that up. You
Yep.
know what I mean? They got the other tackle playing on the other side now. They should be solid in their protection.
Yeah, absolutely.
Derrick Henry's going to get 300 touches.
Yes.
Probably. You know what I mean? They did sign Vic Beasley, which Vic Beasley's a monster in the pressure game, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
For quarterbacks when he's on the field. It's been a
7 games, 8 games last
yeah,
few
you know
years.
what I mean? In the last 5 years, I mean, he's only been dominant like a year.
Yeah.
Maybe you want to say maybe a year and a half due to injury.
Yep.
Logan Ryan has departed the team. That secondary did fall a little bit. They got Byard over there. They got a couple good safeties.
Byard's
You know what I
beast.
mean? They're there.
Yeah.
Right? But they finished like 26 in passing, I think, or something like that. So, that is a concern. We'll see what happens. But I think they're solid. You know what I mean? They did get Derrick Henry back on the tag. Tannehill got $30 million a year. 3 years, what, $91 million, something like that.
Yeah.
So, they're right there in that flex, but I don't think that they're actually divisional winning football team.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because honestly, all three of these teams, the Texans, the Colts, the Titans, they're probably going to be. They may finish like a game or two within each other.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I would agree. I'll put them in third right now.
Yeah, absolutely. And I have them at 9-7, but I kind of have them in third. I think this division is going to be a huge toss-up. So
Yeah.
we can move to the next team, and that's where I have the Houston Texans. They're in that same
That's
boat,
fair.
and I actually have them tying the record with the Tennessee Titans at 9-7. The schedule is, fairly simple, but I think they're going to split a lot of those divisional games. So it's going to be tough for the Texans to really run the division. And then on top of that, you trade DeAndre Hopkins, arguably one of the best receivers in the league, if not the best receiver. Possession especially, great hands, quarterback proof he's shown in his career. So you trade him away. You have seen a little bit dip in his numbers. You saw it last year, but he still is an outstanding wide receiver. And they trade him for David Johnson. And David Johnson is such a question mark.
Yeah.
That's the hard part, because you got a guy who had 30 touchdowns, in a season. Unbelievable. And hasn't done anything since. So, and can catch the ball out of the backfield great. You know what I mean? He can run routes. He can do it all. He's the type of true three down back that can do it all.
Yeah.
If he can put it all together. So I don't know, but the Texans, on defense, they can't stay healthy.
Yeah. That's the biggest thing.
On offense, can their weapons stay healthy? They do lose DeAndre Hopkins, but they added Brandon Cooks. Brandon Cooks, actually, after going back and looking at the stats, has not been hurt that much. He's at 4,000-yard seasons. He's a very above-average receiver,
Yeah.
to be honest. So I got him at 9-7.
Yeah, I'll do too. You know what? The Texans could be one of these teams that's 8-8, or they could be 12-4. We don't know exactly what they're going to do on the football field. This is what happens when you get a college coach who's not shown success in the NFL, and who is the head coach and the general manager. You know what I mean? You trade arguably the best wide receiver in the game right now.
Yeah.
And DeAndre Hopkins. Okay.
For peanuts, almost. I mean,
mean-
don't get me wrong. David Johnson was a stud, but
Yeah, but
At
they
the time, it's
got.
peanuts.
I believe they got a second round in that and the swap with the 4th round pick. You know what I mean? Which is, honestly, it's kind of fair,
okay.
given what they're trying to do. But this is what they're trying to do. They're trying to bring a lot of speed to that offense. They went and got Brandon Cooks, as you said. And you've seen how successful Jared Goff and the Rams were when they brought Brandon Cooks over there. He's done it to every offense that he's been at, with Patriots, even as a rookie with the Saints. You know what I mean? So, that's promising there. But how long is he going to stay on the field?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Are we getting like 6-7 games out of Brandon Cooks, or are we going to get a whole season? We don't know. Again, you got Will Fuller on the other side of that. You know what I mean? Beast. Multiple game touchdown threat.
Yeah, absolutely.
Can he stay on the field? You know what I mean? He's never stayed on the field. So you got that. They were able to retain Daniel Fields, but I like what they're doing. They added Randall Cobb in the slot. They also still got Kiki Kute to run in those same kind of sets. But that opens the field up immensely for David Johnson if he can stay healthy and stay on the field.
Yes.
You know what I mean? On the defensive side, like you said, can they stay healthy?
Yeah.
The secondary has been lackluster in years prior. So we'll see what happens. I got them at 9-7. I don't know how good this team is going to be. There's supposedly a lot of locker room beefs with Bill O'Brien, to be honest with you. So we'll see what happens.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Just because they have Deshaun Watson, he's won at every single level in as he's been playing. I give him 9-7. Just as a floor.
Yeah. And David Johnson for me. Can you run between tackles? That's a huge part. Because you saw Carlos Hyde last year, who's a million years old.
Yeah.
He had 900 yards. You know, very successful through the ground. David Johnson has struggled running the football. So
Yeah.
we'll see what happens. But yeah, absolutely.
I know those lanes going to be open for Deshaun Watson to run.
Honestly,
They're fast, man.
that's what I'm saying.
Crazy.
Will Fuller,
Yeah.
he averages a touchdown every 10 receptions. You know, it's pretty
crazy.
It's insane. Problem is, he only plays 8 games a season on average. You know, so
Yeah.
that's the hard part. Can he stay healthy? Probably not, but when he's on the field, dynamite.
Yeah.
Absolutely, Texans should have 9 wins, no problem. And they're gonna be right in that mix to fight for the division. I
Yeah.
think with the Tennessee Titans, and we could say the division leaders, which what I think is the Indianapolis Colts. So
Tough. Hairline.
absolutely, very very close division. But the Colts, I think, adding Phillip Rivers, it gives you that little bit of almost like Hall of Fame-esque type quarterback. You know, he is at the end of the day a Hall of Fame quarterback in my opinion. He's put in a lot of accolades, and he's a very good passer. Now, he's shown in the recent past that he has struggled a bit, and his interceptions are way high. So that's where I think it brings him down to earth, closer to Jacoby Brissett was last year anyway.
Yeah.
So is it really an upgrade to have Phillip Rivers? I'm not so sure. But the Colts did add DeForest Buckner on that defensive line. It should help that defense immensely. You already know Darius Leonard, that guy's a beast.
Yeah.
You know, plain and simple. Another year of Rocky Alcin. We'll see what happens there. Their secondary did struggle, but I think they got better in a lot of aspects. And I think adding Jonathan Taylor in the draft too at the running back position gives them a lot of depth there.
Peace.
Where Marlon Mack is hurting, even though he still had 1,000 yards last year. They should win the division.
Yeah.
And I got them at 10-6.
Yeah, Vegas got them at 9. So, you know, they're another one of those teams that's right there, a game or two. You know what I mean? Colts, their offseason, they did great. They got better on both sides of the ball. Like you said, they traded the San Francisco 49ers, got DeForest Buckner. You know what I mean? That should help him, help the team. You know what I mean? The secondary did struggle a lot. They lost a lot of pieces to that secondary. And, you know, you think of Rockets in, yeah, hopefully he should be back.
Yep.
And just another year turning another leaf. Malik Hooker cannot stay healthy. He reminds me of Bob Sanders for the same team a few years back with Peyton Manning and everything like that. Yeah,
He was a monster that couldn't stay healthy.
Yeah, so they add old Jonathan Joseph.
Yep.
We'll see, that's veteran presence, but he sucks.
Yeah, of course.
Xavier Rhodes. Prior to last year, Xavier Rhodes was shut down cornerback. Kind of find out he's more physical more than anything, and he's drawing a lot of flags. So maybe if he can cut down on that, you know, maybe his coverage will be a little bit better.
Yeah.
But that is something they did to address that. So, you know, they are getting better as they go. You look on the offensive side of the field. It was very eyebrow raising. You know what I mean? You get a guy like Phillip Rivers in his tenure in his whole career, been a complete beast. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Fantasy wise and everything like that.
Yep.
Not necessarily a winner though, but to only get a 1-year contract, that's very eyebrow raising, right?
Yeah, of course.
Well, rumors throughout the league is Phillip Rivers has a dead arm. So is that really an upgrade over Jacoby Brissett?
Yeah.
I mean, luckily they're able to retain Jacoby Brissett. He's still a backup there.
Yeah.
So, you know, that should be dope. But it just shocks me that they didn't go out and get more wide receivers. You got Paris Campbell. You got T.Y. Hilton. Guys like that. But they don't have another dynamic. They lost Devin Funchess.
They did
You know
add,
what I mean?
They did add Pittman Jr. in the draft.
Yeah, Pittman Jr. Yeah. But also, Pittman Jr. has not played a snap. We've been saying it about these rookies. I'm really high about that on rookies. If I haven't seen them play, NFL speed, I can't really count on that.
Yeah.
And USC wide receivers tend to be nothing anyway. You know, so we'll see what happens. But Jonathan Taylor, this guy's a monster, man.
Yeah.
So you add that tandem with Marlon Mack, who's also a beast. It just shows you what they want to do. Their front seven is going to be dope. They got Buckner.
Yes.
They're dependent on the defense. They're going to run the shit out of the football. Short game is going to be dope. T.Y. is going to be there for the slot. Is Jack Doyle playing? I don't know. You know what I mean? So we'll see what happens. But, yeah, I think just schedule-wise, they're all primed to win 10 games.
Yep.
You know what I mean? They'll be right there on that cusp to compete for the division, and so will the Texans, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a pretty tough division to call. You got 3 teams. Look at the Tennessee Titans.
Yeah.
Almost made it to the Super Bowl.
Oh,
you know,
the Titans, too, is right there in that mix as well.
Absolutely. It's a division up for grabs. We already know Jacksonville, absolutely horrible, but outside of that, the other 3 teams, anybody could win it. So
Absolutely.
we got the Colts, but that has been the AFC South.
Yeah.
B. Scott.
G.O.D.
And don't forget, if you like this video, subscribe.
Smash the button.
Yeah, like
all
it.
that good shit.
Comment. Talk to us. Tell us what you want to hear. You know, we got a lot of fantasy stuff coming up. It's getting closer and closer to the NFL season. So
Yeah. Talk to us. We talk back.
that's right. So it's been the first 4 downs. We out.